Have you ever felt that there is an invisible barrier between you and true love? That feeling that someone is deliberately preventing your romantic paths from flourishing? When it seems like everything is aligned to go right, something or someone always appears to sabotage your happiness. This is not a random phenomenon or a coincidence of the universe. What you are about to discover could completely change your perception of the blockages in your love life. There is an energy interfering directly with your ability to find who truly values you, but know that this interference is on borrowed time. The truth will be exposed. And when that happens, you will finally understand why so many promising relationships have disappeared from your life without any apparent explanation. The silent manipulation that occurs behind the scenes of your love life will cease to be a mystery. The veil is about to be lifted. What will happen when you discover who was really behind all those obstacles? Since time immemorial, bonds between souls are formed on a spiritual level even before they manifest in the physical world. These encounters are not accidental. They are destined connections that should flourish in your journey. However, there are forces that can interfere with this natural flow, creating detours that take you away from the path your soul needs to follow. Have you noticed recurring patterns in your relationships? That moment when everything seems perfect, the connection is genuine, the person shows real interest in getting to know who you truly are, and then, inexplicably, something changes. Communication decreases, interest cools, the person drifts away for no apparent reason, and you find yourself there, perplexed, trying to understand where you went wrong when, in reality, you didn't make any mistake at all. What you couldn't see until now is that there is someone close by who has been acting in the shadows. This person could be a family member, a seemingly loyal friend, or even a former relationship that never really moved forward. What identifies them is not their position in your life, but rather the energy of possessiveness and control that emanates from them. This interference isn't always malicious in its conscious intent. Oftentimes, this person genuinely believes they are protecting you from potential pain. Perhaps they have witnessed your past suffering and vowed to themselves that they would do everything to ensure you don't go through that again. Or maybe, on a deeper level, they fear losing their privileged position in your life if you find someone who truly values you. The signs of this interference are subtle, yet consistent. Small negative comments about the person you're interested in. Timely reminders of past disappointments when you're excited about a new relationship. Innocent messages sent at critical moments that interrupt important connections. Distorted information passed between you and the other person, creating unnecessary misunderstandings. All of these seemingly small actions accumulate, creating an invisible yet powerful barrier. However, the universe will not allow this interference to continue indefinitely. The truth always finds its way to the light. And now, at this specific moment in your journey, the energies are aligning for this manipulation to finally be exposed. You will begin to notice inconsistencies in situations. That story that didn't make sense. That comment that felt out of place, that strange coincidence that's too odd to be just coincidence. Your spiritual discernment is sharpening, allowing you to see beyond appearances and perceive the true intentions behind the actions. This revelation is not meant to generate conflict or resentment. On the contrary, it emerges as an opportunity for deep healing, not just for you, but also for the person who has been interfering in your life. For that person is also trapped in their own fears and insecurities, acting from wounds that have yet to be fully understood and healed. When you realize who this person is and how they have influenced your love life, your first reaction may be anger or disappointment. These feelings are natural and should not be suppressed. Allow yourself to feel them fully, recognizing them as part of your process of liberation. However, don't linger in this emotional state, as it would only keep you tied to the same limiting energy. Instead, prepare for an approach of understanding and compassion. This does not mean you should accept or allow the interference to continue. It means acknowledging that behind every manipulative action is a human being struggling with their own shadows. This understanding will empower you to set clear boundaries without being consumed by negative emotions. The coming weeks will bring revealing situations. An unexpected conversation may bring forth information that connects previously disconnected dots. Or perhaps you, with your heightened awareness, will begin to notice patterns that have always been there, but that you weren't ready to recognize. Either way, the truth is emerging and cannot be ignored any longer. When the exposure occurs, you will be faced with an important choice: to confront this person directly or simply adjust your energetic boundaries without necessarily creating conflict. Both approaches can be valid, depending on the specific nature of your relationship with that person and the impact they have had on your life. If you choose to confront directly, do so with clarity and calmness. This isn't about accusation, but about sharing your perception and establishing new parameters for the relationship. I've noticed that when I mention my interest in someone, you often bring up negative information about that person. This has affected my decisions, and I would like to understand what motivates these comments. An approach like this opens the door for genuine dialogue rather than fostering defensiveness. If you prefer not to confront directly, you still need to establish new energetic boundaries. This may mean not sharing information about your romantic interests with this person, or it might involve creating healthy distance by reducing the frequency or depth of interactions. Remember, setting boundaries is not an act of rejection, but rather an act of self-care. The most important thing is that once you are aware of the interference, you will no longer allow it to control your romantic journey. Your discernment is now heightened, enabling you to filter out external influences and trust more deeply in your own intuition about who truly deserves to be in your life. Trust that after this revelation, new paths will open up in your love life. People who truly see your value and are aligned with your spiritual growth will be drawn to you. And this time, free from the interference that previously blocked those connections, you will be able to experience the depth of relationships based on genuine appreciation and mutual respect. The universe is working in your favor, removing obstacles that have hindered your progress. This exposure is not an end, but rather a beginning, a start of a renewed cycle in which you take conscious ownership of your love story, free from veiled manipulations. Before we proceed, I would like to ask you something important. If you feel that this message resonates deeply with your soul, please make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Your angels guided me to you today, and they will continue to send important messages as long as we keep this connection active. Energy reciprocity is essential on the spiritual plane. By subscribing, you signal to the universe that you are open to receiving more guidance and angelic protection on your journey. The person who has been interfering in your love life is not a villain in a simple story of good versus evil. This is someone who, at their own level of consciousness, is acting according to their limitations and fears. Perhaps it's someone who fears losing their special place in your life, or someone who projects their own painful experiences onto you, trying to protect you in a misguided way. Often this person may not even be fully aware of the impact of their actions. They could be operating from patterns so deeply ingrained that they can't see how they are causing harm. This doesn't excuse the interference, but it offers a perspective that can help you deal with the situation without creating more negative karma. Notice how this person reacts when you mention new romantic interests. Is there a subtle pattern of disapproval? Are there seemingly innocuous comments that plant seeds of doubt? Questions that appear concerned but actually induce insecurity? These are the marks of someone who, consciously or unconsciously, is sabotaging your connections. And even more revealing, how does this person behave when you are spending time with potential partners? Do they create sudden emergencies that require your attention? Do they insist on reminding you of commitments that you supposedly made to them? Do they try to insert themselves into these moments, preventing intimacy from developing naturally? These are clear signs of active interference. For years, you may have attributed these patterns to mere coincidences or bad luck. Maybe it wasn't meant to be, you thought, when yet another promising relationship faded away without a clear explanation. But now your spiritual eyes are opening to a deeper truth. None of this was accidental. The most painful realization may be how much time you've lost. How many valuable connections may have been disrupted by this interference. But don't get stuck in that lament. Time is never truly lost when it brings lessons. And this is a powerful lesson about discernment and energetic protection that will serve you for the rest of your life. In your upcoming interactions with this person, stay alert but not paranoid. Observe with compassionate curiosity, like a scientist studying a natural phenomenon. Notice the patterns without immediate judgment. This conscious observation is, in itself, an act of power that begins to dismantle the negative influence. You will notice that as you become aware of this dynamic, the person may intensify their interference efforts. This is natural. When a strategy that has worked for so long starts to lose its effect, the initial tendency is to apply it with more force, not less. Don't be alarmed by this intensification. It's just the last gasp of a pattern that is losing power over you. An important aspect of this revelation is understanding that you are not a powerless victim. In some way, at some level, you allowed this interference into your life, perhaps by overvaluing this person's opinion, maybe by doubting your own discernment, or perhaps through a soul agreement made long ago, which is now ready to be dissolved. Acknowledging your part in this dynamic is not about blaming yourself, but rather about reclaiming your power to change it. Visualize yourself surrounded by a golden light of protection every time you interact with this person. This light is not a hostile barrier of separation, but a loving filter that allows only constructive energies to pass between you. Silently affirm, "I am protected from any influence that does not serve my highest good. Only truth and light can penetrate my energy field." As this revelation unfolds in your life, you may discover that it is not just one person, but an energetic pattern you carry that attracts this type of interference. In this case, deeper healing work may be necessary, identifying the origin of this pattern, perhaps in childhood experiences or even past lives, and consciously releasing it. Recognize that by freeing yourself from this interference, you are not only clearing the way for healthy, loving relationships, you are also liberating that person from the karmic role they have played in your life. This represents a growth opportunity for both of you. You learn to set healthy boundaries and trust your intuition. They learn that they cannot control the paths of another soul. When you finally meet someone who truly values you, and this will happen when the blocks are removed, you will recognize the difference immediately. The energy will be clear, direct, without the confusing games you were used to. There will be no constant feeling of walking on eggshells, fearing saying or doing something wrong. Instead, there will be a sense of peace and acceptance that you may have never experienced before. This new relationship will serve as a mirror reflecting your true worth. You will see yourself through the eyes of someone who genuinely appreciates who you are, without hidden agendas or distorted expectations. And in that reflection, you will finally recognize your own light in all its splendor. Don't worry about the how or when this person will appear in your life. Once you remove the blockages, the universe has miraculous ways of creating perfect encounters at the perfect time. Your only responsibility is to stay alert and not let old interferences contaminate this new possibility. The signs that you're on the right path will start appearing in the coming weeks. Meaningful synchronicities, vivid dreams with clear messages, casual encounters that seem carefully orchestrated by the universe. Pay attention to these signs. They are confirmations that you're aligning with your true romantic destiny. During this transition period, take time to clarify what you truly value in a relationship. Don't base this reflection on past experiences, limited by interferences, but rather on your soul's deep understanding of what constitutes a truly nourishing connection. What qualities are non-negotiable for you? What kind of support do you need to fully thrive? What values should be shared? This clarity will serve as a beacon, attracting precisely the type of person who will complement your journey, rather than drain it or steer it off course. And more importantly, it will act as a natural filter against those who, even without ill intentions, are not aligned with your greater good. Remember, while this message focuses on romantic relationships, the interference being exposed may have affected other areas of your life as well. Significant friendships, professional opportunities, connections that could expand your horizons, all these aspects may have been impacted by the same limiting energy. As you free yourself from this interference in your love life, notice how other areas of your life begin to flow with greater ease as well. This isn't a coincidence. It's the natural result of removing an energetic blockage that was affecting your entire field. This revelation marks the beginning of a new phase in your spiritual journey, one in which you take greater responsibility for the conscious management of your connections. Not everyone in your life needs to have access to the same level of information or influence. Learning to compartmentalize healthily is part of the wisdom you're developing now. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Even the delays and detours caused by this interference have served a greater purpose: to cultivate a refined discernment within you that will be invaluable on your future journey. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been in vain. The angels guiding you are celebrating this moment of awakening in your consciousness. They have been patiently observing, waiting for the perfect moment to bring this revelation to your attention. Now that you are ready to receive this truth, they will continue to support every step of your process of liberation. Feel the presence of these guides around you, especially when you are setting new boundaries or discerning true intentions. They are strengthening your intuition, whispering subtle guidance that you will recognize as that inner voice that always knows the truth, even when your conscious mind hesitates. As we move toward the conclusion of this message, I want you to know that you are not alone on this journey. Many souls are going through similar processes of release at this planetary moment. It's part of a collective awakening to more authentic and conscious relationships. The exposure that is about to occur in your life is, therefore, not just a personal liberation, but also your contribution to a greater shift in collective consciousness. By reclaiming your power and establishing relationships based on truth and mutual respect, you elevate the energetic standard for everyone. I feel that we have achieved a deep understanding together about the interference that has been blocking your path to finding those who truly value you. There is a singular beauty in this moment of awakening, the clarity that emerges when veils of illusion are lifted, allowing you to see not only others, but more importantly, yourself, with new eyes. You have followed this message this far because something in your soul recognized the truth in the words shared. This resonance is not accidental. It is a sign that you were ready to receive this revelation precisely at this moment in your journey. If this message resonated deeply with you, I would like to ask you to leave a simple comment saying, "The truth has set me free," just to confirm that this angelic connection has reached those in need. And if you feel this guidance could help someone who is facing similar blockages, please show your support with a like. This helps ensure these messages reach more hearts that need this awakening. To confirm that you have fully received this divine message, type the number 999 in the comments. This is an angelic code that signals completion and the closing of cycles, precisely what is happening in your life right now, with the end of this limiting interference. And remember that your journey of discovery continues. Right next to this video, there is another angelic message that perfectly complements what we've discussed here, offering further guidance on how to recognize and nurture genuine connections. Click on it when you feel ready for the next level of understanding. May the light of truth continue to illuminate your paths, revealing who truly deserves a special place in your life. Until our next spiritual encounter.